MaxAbility team member on the marketing subgroup with Jennifer, but I'm also an employee at Cardinal, Minnesota. I had a brain tumor 6 years ago, rupture in my brainstem, and entered the workforce probably about a year after that. So I'm here today to talk about some of those experiences.
I'm Lori Kolash. I am executive assistant at Cardinal, Minnesota, and I oversee our front desk staff, which is where Shelley has been very, very helpful.
Thank you.
So can you tell us about the process that brought you on board at Cardinal, from both of your perspectives?
From my perspective, I've been attending a committee at Cardinal called BEC, which stands for Brain Injury Community Committee, and seeing the culture at Cardinal and how friendly everyone was, and everyone always knew my name and why I was there and where I needed to be. And I asked somebody at Cardinal, Kyle, who's no longer there, but one day I said, would Cardinal ever hire somebody like me? I had been up to a program level position working with people with disabilities prior, and I had wanted to work with people again, but knowing I can't drive and my limitations, I didn't quite know where I fit. So Kyle was kind enough to say, I have people here who can talk to you about that. So they came in and I had kind of an impromptu interview, and that's how I started at Cardinal.
Yep, she spoke with Kristen first. How it first began was kind of help cover the front desk, answer phones, greet people as they come in, so clients and vendors and whoever walks in the door, and answer the phones, transfer phone calls, and then we also got to have her do our newsletter and annual report, which was on my plate, and I am so not good at that. So I was very happy to be able to hand that off to her.
And I want you to remember that tidbit of perspective later as we talk. So Shelley, will you tell us how this was different from some of your other recent experiences?
So one of the things when I first had a brain injury and was thinking about work, I went to a voc rehab person at Mayo, and she said, maybe you could start by volunteering once a month. And I was pretty significantly injured. So as I recovered, I felt like I could have more and more energy, and ventured into the workplace in my previous job. And when I would go there, I would have someone look at me and go, oh, it's that day again, you're here. And it felt very confining and very undermining. I felt not necessary, not needed, like they had to make special work for me. So I started looking for job opportunities and reading a lot of job descriptions, knowing I could not perform pretty much all of the job descriptions. Job descriptions had something in them that I could not do. So psychologically, I would turn away. Like I wouldn't apply because, oh, you need a driver's license, I don't have that. So my perspectives for a job were diminishing rapidly. And that's when I went to Cardinal for a meeting.
Thank you. So when we talked earlier, one of the things we talked about was accommodations, which can be this huge, weighty word for employers to think about, like in the abstract, or even as they start to think about it, it feels expensive, it feels weighty, it feels like extra work on our already busy lives. Would you talk a little bit, especially Lori, from your point of view, about what it meant to make accommodations for Shelley?
There was minimal that I honestly think that we did. A mouse that she wanted, or
Lifting up my keyboards.
yep, moving up a keyboard. I mean, and just we created a space for her, which was just an open area at the reception desk. And that we just got what she needed to work with.
And has Shelley been reliable and dependable? Would you
Oh,
recommend her?
absolutely.
Except
Even
for the
though
transfer.
she has yep,
Yeah.
it's a control thing. She does not like that at all.
All right.
It's not her fault.
So thank you so much. Any last things you want to share?
I just have to say that Cardinal has been extremely accommodating to me. Lori says that there wasn't a lot, but they've adapted a lot of things so that I could do the job. The front desk receptionist position had in it some light housekeeping, like vacuuming, which I can't do. So somebody just took up and did things that they knew I couldn't perform. And on that, in conjunction, I added some things like graphic design. So we were able to mix and match positions.
Thank you. And that was a really kind of an organic process there. So thank you both very much, really important. We'll de-mic you. But so I want to just point out that we have heard from both a job coach and